I just haven't been on here in a while. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to my podcast. Good morning. It's my morning. And this is Open to the Universe, QHHT. And QHHT is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. And I am a practitioner for this technique, which is absolutely awesome and is developed by Dolores Cannon. She was amazing. She's studied and did everything for this particular technique. Actually, they gave it to her, she did it through all the bodies and developed it and came up with this perfect, gentle way to access the all-knowing part of yourself. We're getting to that point as far as that's where we're evolving to, is to just always access the all-knowing part of ourselves. But a lot of us right now in this particular time are caught up in the third dimensional reality of it has to be this way. We got to do it this way. And it's interesting because I know I get messages for my own self, practice what you preach. And I tell you guys all this amazing stuff. And sometimes I get in the boat of unsure of, there is things happening that catches us off guard. I love being centered and grounded. And I'm right now in a beautiful group, and it is Happy Lion Center. And I have some really great friends that, that I needed right now at this time in my life that help me stay grounded and help me, really just be centered and be the best I can be at all times, even in sadness, even in the hardest situations. Yeah. Where'd that little puppy go? Also, I'm watching a puppy and he just likes to chew everything. So I'm like, where did he go? Anyway. And so today I realized with emotions, they can come in like an ocean of emotion, and it's serious. I mean, you could get all these emotions, and sometimes they're not even your emotion, your energy, and I'm realizing that. There he is. Yeah. So I guess I just really wanted to come on here and see how you guys are feeling. If you're feeling out of control, if you're feeling super sad, what I've been getting and receiving is that we're letting too much of the ego in to run the show. And really the ego needs to sit back. It's the part of us that can just run the body and go, and we can get things done. And it just can't handle making all the decisions that it does. And so you'll feel out of control. And that's leading with the ego. When you lead with your beautiful subconscious side, it's gentle, it's easygoing, it's positive, it's loving, compassionate. And I know a lot of us, we have personalities as to where we may not be the most compassionate person or the most loving person, but it's there. It's just a different way you can bring it out. So it's not that you need to change or adjust or be a certain way. It's more of you just need to, I guess if you were going to do anything, it would just be easy on yourself. You just want to be easy on yourself. And if it's easy and it's not, if you're not pushing against something, try to make it happen and it's just not happening. Sorry, this puppy. I should have thought about that before I did an actual podcast. That's funny. It's being gentle on yourself, and it's always choosing like positive things. So if anything is negative, anything is a sad thing, that's the old earth. That's old energy. We're getting away from that. And that energy seems to know it. So it kind of tries to latch on. I'm realizing that too, because I'm always positive and outgoing and caring and loving and compassionate. And that's my true nature. And that's all of our true natures. When it comes down to it, uh, sorry, I'm having a moment, I guess. I really enjoy coming on here, and I really enjoy um, just opening my heart and talking to you guys and putting anything out there that could resonate with you and really let you have a great day, a great life, a great whatever it needs to be. And that's my joy, and that's my excitement. And it's like that's my one thing that I truly really love, because when I meditate and really go in deep with the heart chakra, the heart center, I realize my heart is so full for humanity, and that's for everyone. And everything. It's everything. It's elemental. It's so as far as nature, the trees, the birds, the grass. I know it seems like oh, that's silly because it's just the grass or it's just the trees, but they all have consciousness actually. And it's like they want to be appreciated and loved as much as you would want to be appreciated and loved. It's pretty much the same thing. And when you really get in tune with that, it just has this beautiful harmony that you realize that is when you open your heart and you really connect with nature and you really connect with yourself. I realize that it's just so beautiful and so heavenly and so, I mean, heaven doesn't have to be heaven. It can be here. It can be perfect. Heaven to me is perfect and great and gentle and loving and compassionate. It's like all the things. So sometimes I'll use that word as that's what I'm meaning about it. What are you chewing? Okay, a ball. All right, good. I was like, oh no, puppy. Um, anyway, so I know that we're going through emotions, and I know that a lot of people, including myself, get caught up in emotions. We just do. We get caught up in emotions. We're not using our tools. We're not saying, okay, I know meditation. Let me use that. Let me use the breath. Breath will definitely, that's the one tool you have no matter where you are. You always have the breath. And in doing so, in through the mouth, count of 4, hold it for 2, out 4 through the mouth. And doing that a few times will center you back. So if you're having a situation of someone passing or a situation of just work is horrible and you just don't like it, but you can't just necessarily quit. I know a lot of us are in that boat as far as, you got to survive, so you need a job, but we're doing things that maybe we're not so passionate about. Because what's happening is we're awake as others aren't. And hang on, let me let this little puppy back outside. Okay, so anyway, and my friends, yesterday I did a meditation with them. It was so beautiful and really centered me to realize that the best way that I could be for anyone, because I'm a senior caregiver, I'm just one of those people that, of course, I'm going to run into situations as eventually we're going to ascend and leave the body and do what we have to next. Well, and in doing so, that's where we can get caught up in attachment. We can be attached too much to the people, to our bodies, to the things, and that doesn't need to be. Um, it's interesting that happens. Really, to me, it's interesting that happens. I've lived so many lives because with QHHT, that's the best part, is you're tapping into the Akashic records of yourself, of your soul. And in doing so, you could have past lives, you could have other journeys to other galaxies, other planets. This is exactly why I love this technique. I mean, yeah, you can access the all knowing part of yourself, which opens this beautiful Akashic records of your blueprints of yourself. So if there's any way, and it's like the higher self. So the higher self has lots of fragments, and that means that those are all the lives. Maybe sometimes we're new souls, so we come in and we really have a hard time with life, and sometimes you just can't do life all the way, like be 80 or 90. Sometimes those people have come back. I should say the soul has come back several times for a particular life to really experience it, to really take it in and master it, because on the other side we're masters. We're brilliant, we're amazing. We can do anything. We can create whatever we want. And that's why we're here. We've created ourselves here. We've created this illusion of things are difficult at times, and sometimes we can't get through them. And it's just amazing. And anyway, so then the fragments are different personalities and different people, different costumes, because each life is like a movie, technically, to them on the other side. Even though, yeah, it's real and your life is very precious, um, it has to be, or you wouldn't have a good experience. You would be like, oh, I already know what's going to happen next. If we were tapped into the all knowing part of ourselves, we'd be like, oh, life's boring because I already know in 2 years it's going to be like this, or I already know in 6 months it's going to do this. Versus you don't know what's going to happen. Versus you're going every day into the future, just living your life, and maybe some stuff happens beautifully. Once you connect to the all-knowing part of yourself, you can tap into this beautiful part of yourself, which really will release that heaviness, that darkness, because that's no good. You don't want that kind of energy. I know I've seen other things where it was like it's okay to be sad. It's not, because if you hold on to that sadness, it just keeps going down for you. It causes depression. Your insides are sad. Everything's sad. You don't want to hold on to that energy. And I know we can do really good, and there's lots of good tools out there. You just have to almost find what works for you and what fits for you. So sometimes it can be Reiki, it can be meditation, just regular meditation. And don't be so hard on yourself when you do meditation. Just be very gentle. Closing your eyes and being gentle. Some people are like, oh, I want to see. Okay, well, you have to work on that. It's your imagination too. You have a beautiful built-in imagination. I think that's like the biggest message today, is that we have this beautiful imagination and we think, oh, that's only for when you're a kid, and then you kick it to the side, right? Because adults, they're like, no, that's kid stuff, imagination. But that's the beauty of it. Why can't we have that back and just really love on having an imagination and really playing with it, and really being at times just simple as you sit there in a chair and you can imagine whatever you want to imagine. That's the best part. Just do it. Just play with it in your mind. And when you start doing it, you're activating that part of yourself. And then it becomes easy when you do meditation. Then you can do meditation and say, oh, now I can see. Now I can see. And trust. That's the biggest thing. Trust the first thing that comes to your mind. So whatever it is, and it could be negative at first, because we're trying to figure it out, right? And so when you see that it's negative, step back from that. Hey, puppy. Okay, I'm gonna have to break 1 second. Let me get this puppy. um, okay, sorry about that. Back to this. Um, I guess mostly it's like just becoming aware of your emotions in that moment. If it feels negative in any way, take a step back from it. Not physically or anything, obviously, but emotionally, take a step back. Don't feel so sad. Don't dwell on it, and it's definitely, I practice what I preach. I hear it. I go, oh, yeah, that's a message to me, too. You know, we are human. That's the cool part. And what really makes us cool is that we can choose what we want. We have free will. And that to me is really cool because sure, we could sit there and just be sad and mopey and blah, but what does that do for you? What does that really do for you? Do you feel better after? Do you want to go out and help people? You know what I mean? It doesn't really help you. It sets your tone for negativity. You then become judgmental. You then become hateful, then become mad at the world, right? Because you've let too much of the ego in and it can't handle making decisions like you're letting it make. And so then it becomes out of control, uneasy, not good, just all the ucky words, and it's really is that simple. You can really go, I can choose good. I can choose positive. It isn't easy. I know that. But that's why there's tools. That is why there's tools out there. And like I said earlier, the breath, that is your number one tool, no matter what. From all my mentors, that is the one thing they said, no matter what, you have that one tool. So you're in a moment, it's not good, breathe. Take a step back, go to the bathroom, go to the hallway, go outside in the car, wherever you can be by yourself for that little bit of time. And just breathe and just know that this is just an experience happening in your life and that it is almost like a test for you. Because that's what life is. It's experiences, it's tests, it's challenging you, it's testing you. And let's see if you're really good at it. Let's see if you can get through this one. And, I always go back to my law of attraction because that's a universal law. It's a universal law. It's set in stone in the universe. So attraction. So you put out what you get back. And they say this all the time in other ways. But if you could put out good, you're going to get good back. And if you believe it, and you put it in your heart and you hold your heart and you put your hand over your heart and you believe that that's good and this is good and it's going to send that out into the universe and come back to you good. But if you do negative, if you do things that would cause negativity, that as well goes out into the universe and comes back negativity back to you. So you really do have to become aware. I guess I never, it's like here I am, explaining to you guys this and seeing how you guys feel and suggesting these beautiful things for you. I guess it's like, I don't want you guys to change. I don't want you to be like, oh, she's telling me what to do. I can't do it. No, 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 it's not that at all. I'm like, it's a suggestion. And I don't want you to change who you are. I want you to be exactly who you are, who you were meant to be. This beautiful being here on this planet, enjoying your life, enjoying the people around you, laughing, loving, compassionate. I want that for everyone. And I believe everyone deserves it. I believe we all deserve it. I believe that sometimes we get dealt a sticky little hand card, little deck of cards, and they're tricky. It's a tricky game. And that's life. It could be a little tricky, but once you start working on yourself and start choosing good things, it becomes easier and then easier and then easier. But you have to start somewhere, right? It's just like when you send your kid off to kindergarten, obviously the kid isn't ready for 5th grade or college is ready for kindergarten, which is basic, which is just being aware of what school really is. And you go into school and this is school. Oh, okay. All right. And that's my chair. Oh, okay. So it's exactly the same thing in life. I mean, we're, as you go into your adulthood, at first it's like, all right, I want all these things. I see everyone who has all these things, but what you don't really realize is that those people have been through what you just went through. Is like they started at ground zero. They had nothing and they worked their way up. Some people are born with stuff. Yes, they're born into the money. And most likely in other lives, you were born into money. And so we have the experiences of everything on earth, born into money, born into poverty, born into abuse, born into, because we needed these experiences to build our all knowing part. We're building it up. We're knowing more. We're learning things. Um, I really love just coming on here. So I did a meditation the other day. So yesterday I was just saying that, and we did it by the creek and we did a circle. It was just so beautiful and wonderful. And I felt so centered afterward. I feel wonderful now, like centered. I feel whole. Um, I know in my heart, like I am here for the greater good and I need to be a solid person as far as show people that positivity over negativity. But anyway, my feet. So when I'm in meditation, I'm pretty good at what I think for my meditation. I'm pretty open, although I can get caught up too in reality. I can get caught up in the emotion. As of course I'm human, but the best part is I'm aware. So anytime I feel like, oh, that's heavy, that's too much, I'm aware. I become conscious of it. And so I step back and I go, wait a minute. No, 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 But anyway, my feet were like, so they were covered in dirt and I never moved my feet. So I thought that was really, really cool. We took a picture of it. Everyone was like, what? I felt that like I was in the universe with my higher self. I connected with the higher self, but I felt like my leg could reach from there to the dirt. I know it's crazy or whatever, but that's what I felt. It was amazing. We took a picture of it. We were all laughing because no one else's feet were the same way, even though we all had our feet just gentle on the dirt so we can have the earth, so we can ground ourselves. I think that's the biggest that I always forget to suggest is grounding yourself. Because we need to be grounded and we need to detach from that emotion of that negativity emotion. Really, it's okay to be compassionate and loving, but just know that you don't have to. I think what I'm really trying to say is like when you wake up, and I've said this before in other podcasts, I know I have, is like appreciate that you woke up. Appreciate that you're like, all right, here I am again. I have a new chance today. Today's a new day. And some of us has such challenging lives, right? We have such challenging lives. We live in poverty. We're just barely making it, right? And you just barely have enough and you just barely have this. And then you see other people that are just loaded. But the reality is those people who have all that money, are they really happy? Are you, I mean, I know people are, no, money makes you happy. No, you make you happy. Money does not make you happy. Like those people who are wealthy, they're the same boat. They've unfortunately gotten everything they wanted, but where's that true happiness? Where's that true joy that you're just so balanced, that you're so in love, and that you're so like, this is it. I love myself. I know who I am now. And I feel like, too, just talking to other people, when we work in groups and like there's a lot of us in a building or whatnot, we're taking in other emotions. We're taking in this guy's emotions, this lady's emotions. We're taking them in. We don't realize that, but we're pure positive energy on the other side. So in this physical, we have seven chakras. Hey, you have to stop. He just wants me to play with him. He is so cute. I wish you guys could see him. Puppies are adorable. Yes. They bring some joy into your life, little puppies. Um, but I think really that I'm trying to say is that, like, be gentle, wake up and be gentle on yourself. Some people, we have lots of kids, lots of stuff going on. Maybe we're taking care of our elderlies, maybe like grandma, grandpa, maybe we're taking care of aunts and uncles, maybe we have a whole bunch of kids, or maybe we're all alone and we just have a spouse. Whatever your scenario is, um, really try to connect with yourself. Really realize that you're a multidimensional being. You're more than just a human. You're this beautiful being inside of this beautiful body, and you chose your body for a reason, for the experience that you're getting right now. And if you hear me, if you ever hear this podcast, to know that you're beyond amazing. Like, if you could wake up with so much joy and so much happiness every day, you'd be a completely well balanced person. You really would. You would be able to really connect with the all knowing part of yourself on a daily basis. Ask yourself, is this right for me? Should I move? Should I get a new job? Help me, angels. Line that up for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you can really ask from the heart. I know some people, we just get so wrapped up in our daily living and our daily lives. This puppy. Um, um, and it's like, if you get off course, you can always get back on course. That's the best part of the all knowing part. No, puppy, don't you do it. That was my shoe. It's because I'm not playing with them. He's cute. Um, where'd you go? He is stinker. He's precious. Um, and to just, wake up with some affirmations. I know a lot of people want to do a whole bunch of stuff at once, and I'm going to do yoga every day, and I'm going to do meditation every day, and I'm going to do all this every day. Some people can do it beautifully, great, gentle, easy, right? But not everyone can do that. We have to go to work. We have to exist. We got to go do things. We got to drive our kids to places. We got to take maybe our family member to a doctor. Or maybe we got to do this. A lot going on because we're not all awake. And you can kind of notice that. And what I guess I really wanted to put out there is just being gentle to yourself. Really loving on yourself, I think, is the biggest. Knowing that, look how special it is. You're here on this planet. You're here on this earth. I know I've seen some scenarios of like people who are on the streets and we go, oh wow, what are we gonna do with that? Well, there's different energies on our planet as well too. And I know if you have watched some of the feel good positive affirmational people who just put their stuff on there and they're always trying to get you to raise your vibration. Well, there's different vibration on our planet, and we are vibrational beings. We just are. You can walk in a room and really sense, if you're tapped into it, sense, oh, that's a good person or not a good person, right? You can feel their energy and go, ooh, what's going on here, right? So that's what I mean. We're vibrational, we have frequency, and it's really just becoming aware of it. There's a glitch on this timeline, and we should have been a little further ahead than we really are. And so a lot of light workers came back. What are you doing? Oh, I was like, what are you doing? Light workers, they came back at this time to help us evolve. Oh, geez, you gotta be careful. I don't know if I can do my podcast. This little puppy is like center of attention, right? We have so many things going on, and so many more people are doing podcasts and doing videos, and that's great. No, that's so great. I'm so thankful for all of those who have woke up, who have um, just really put some really good material out there. It's the best thing ever. What I was really going to say is just be gentle when you start adding all these things in, because there's no way that at first you can do all of them at once. You're only going to do it for a little bit and then you're going to fall out. That's just normal. We do it with almost everything we do, unless you're dedicated and really truly love that particular thing that you're doing. So that's why I say be easy on yourself, write down some affirmations. And when you do your affirmations, my suggestion is do them in front of a mirror so that you can see your eyes, that you can really talk to yourself, the inner self. Because I think that's the biggest, is if we can really talk to ourselves and really love on ourselves. I don't think we love ourselves enough. There's not enough love for our own selves. So in doing so, we're stretched thin and we don't have enough love to go around, right? You're tired, you're exhausted. It's because you've let the ego come in and just run the show. And of course you're tired, exhausted, because the ego can't pull it off. And sometimes people are like, oh, I'm so mentally exhausted. Yikes. That's what that means. That's the ego running the show. You gotta love the ego because it keeps you going. It's the body. It's that. Oh, I can't do anything with that. It's more of a toy. Yeah. And so when you're gentle on yourself and you always lead with the beautiful, all-knowing part of yourself, you're not exhausted. You're really gentle on your body. You're really loving on yourself. You're then at that point, you're completely full of love for your own self, that you're able to help love others, because that vibration goes out there. You've hit this frequency. There's different frequencies, and you've hit this frequency that is like, people realize, oh, who is this person? I love them. Like, you're attracted to not necessarily the physical, but you're attracted to what they're offering, that beautifulness of that person. And yeah, and it's incredible. Um, Sorry, geez. Every time I am talking, this cute little puppy wants to interrupt me. So that's really cute. I love it. And I realize it's like, playfulness. That's another thing. It's like what it's showing me: happiness, joy, just playfulness, and just being happy and simple, and knowing the universe can work for you, not against you. And sometimes we do need to adjust ourselves, as far as maybe it isn't going to work for you to live there or to be there. How are you really feeling? Can you wake up joyful? Can you wake up happy? Are you thankful you're in a body? Are you thankful and grateful that you can create what you want? Puppy, what are you eating? Do not eat my cord. To the ball. Oh my goodness, this little puppy. um, I think that's really always the biggest is like, if you're not feeling good, if you're not feeling like you can be there, have a session. That was my biggest is like find a practitioner for QHHT and have a session. And you'll realize real quick. Out. You want to go see your sister? Come on. Nice to see you. It's extras. But yes, okay, I'm back. But yes, if you can have a session with QHHT, find a practitioner in your area, look up Dolores Cannon. You can look me up, jennifermartinez.com. As well, I've partnered up with Happy Lion Center, and you can go through there, and there's quite a few practitioners for other things as well, other holistic healing. That's if you're in our area. We are in Montana, but if you're in a different state or country, look it up. Go to dolorescannon.com or the official QHHT.com and look for a practitioner and just really try to find a practitioner that you resonate with, that when you see their picture, you're like, wow, I really want to meet this person. I really resonate with them as far as, wow, I'm feeling connected. That's resonating. You feel connected. You feel like, wow, I'm on the same frequency. I want to talk to that person. But make sure if there is more than one person to choose from, look that person up, listen to their voice, listen to their videos, because technically when you go in to have a session, it's a form of therapy. So you're going in there to release all these negative things, release anything you shouldn't be holding on to. So extra baggage, carrying people around, and I'm not physically talking carrying around, I'm not emotionally carrying them around. You have this emotional baggage. You don't need that. As we go into the future, we need to release it. It needs to go away. And we need to be free, and we need to be light, and we need to be easy, and we need to be joyful and happy and free as everything we always wanted to be when we came down here. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we knew there would be tools, and we knew that there would be light workers, and we knew we would have angels to help us through. So that's the other thing. You have guardian angels. You have a galactical family on the other side. That's if you really dig deep and you feel alone and you feel separate, that's why. Because the other side is the real side, and we yearn from it. As soon as we're detached from it, we feel like a little baby, like, where's our mom? That feeling of like, I'm alone. No one knows me. No one understands me, right? It happens. We come here and we're just like, wow, the world is so cruel, because that's the world you're seeing. You're not seeing the beauty in the world. You're not seeing the good in the world. So that's why I'm saying to have a session and to sit there and tell the practitioner kind of, you got to tell them your life. You got to tell them what's going on. Because, some of the practitioners are very in tune psychically, but a lot aren't. And you really need to connect with that and see if you can find someone who's easygoing, non-judgmental. Most of the practitioners are really awesome. I have heard some crazy stories where people were, uh, you know, kind of rushed through and not the best. But you know what? That's why I say find the person you like for a practitioner and book them, because it'll be the best decision you've ever made in your life. And that's a guarantee. Period. Best decision you could have ever made in your life is having a QHHT session. So there's 3 levels. You're going to see that if you do look it up. The first level is just level 1, and most of those obviously just learned the method, the fundamental part of that technique, so they can do it. They're going to be the least experienced, but still a great experience. So remember that. Level 2, and as you keep going up, you're going to have a little of a different experience. Level 2, most of those practitioners, that's what I am, have done over 25 people. So they have a little bit more experience. We're all different. So when you go under, it's not going to be the same as if I took Joe under. It's like it's only going to be what you need to experience. Your higher self's not going to show you anything you don't need to see. It's going to know what you need to see in that very moment and release any emotions that you don't need. And as well, it's healing. So if you have any kind of, that's the other thing I do is soul speak, and I need to be more confident about that. But and that's something I'm working on too, is their messages from the higher self through the body. So sometimes we get a disease or an illness and we're not sure why. That's what it's from. They're giving you a message because something needs to change and you're kind of stagnant and stuck. Dang it. Puppy's barking. It's our friend's puppy, and it makes me realize I don't want a puppy. And I mean, they're cute as a button. I love puppies. I mean, that's why we have it, watching it. But at the same time, no thanks. I did all that, and now I'm just barely free of all that. So I'm just at the part in my life where I just really want to focus on myself and focus on humanity and focus on my podcasts and just really being a light worker. That's my whole focus, my whole purpose, because that's what I can bring, as we all want to do something, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us. We all want to do something like for the greater good, because otherwise, what do? We just work and die. That's basically it. It's like, so like for sure, just bringing joy to people, bringing light to people. That's my favorite. It's hands down my favorite. So anyway, going back to the practitioners, so but a level 3 is probably the most expensive, but what you get out of it, mind blowing. And those practitioners have probably done over 500 people. And we are all different, but we have this collective mind that is the same. We're human, first of all. We have free will. We can do what we want. We can choose what we want. That right there is a little golden nugget. That's precious. You can choose what you want. You can be who you want. Look, you can be who you want. Isn't that amazing? Like you can do whatever you want to do. It's incredible. It's incredible. And we think, why do we have this person in our life? Why do we have that? If you don't want certain people in your life, you can adjust your own self to make it centered so that only good people come into your life that you need. It is that simple. And you don't have to be so forceful with it. You can be so gentle with it. The universe loves you, you're very loved on the other side. Very, very loved. You have angels, you have guardians, you have a galactical family on the other side. So they're always loving on you, always sending you love and positivity. And so that could be why you're listening to me today. It could be something as simple as that, or someone else who has a great message to give to you today. But I think if you can't just get to that place, if you can't just get to this beautiful harmony part of yourself, that's why I always suggest if you can have a session with QHHT, do it. It'll be the best thing you've ever done. And if you find a level one practitioner, usually they have free sessions as they are just trying to learn. So if you don't have a lot going on in your life and you just want like some simple little answers, that will get you there. That will shift you. I mean, I was a level one. I've done, plenty of people. It was just that as a practitioner, we go through it too. We're healing too. I've realized, for me, I've been through it. I grew up in poverty. Divorced family. My mom struggled. She had 3 jobs. She was hardly there. She did the best she could do in the scenario that we had. And I didn't understand any of that. I was very hateful and very sad. And I didn't know how to be joyful. I didn't know how to care for myself. Um, and in doing so, as I grew older, I got locked into the whole just work and just exist and self medicate and just things that weren't really boosting me up, and going through that really lets me shine the light on myself now. Now I can look back and now I can go, wow, that got me to who I am. I am who I am because of that. So I'm not saying like if you're in those scenarios it's horrible. It's like, yeah, that is bad or sad or whatever you want to say. But now is the time that we disconnect from those emotions as far as sad and horrible and anything negative. You don't want to indulge in it. You want to go for the greater good. You want to go for positivity because it will make you feel better. Period. I mean, you just know if you say anything positive, you're going to feel light. You're going to feel happy and joyful and free. And all you have to do is realize that little moment. It's like if you say great things, that you're happy, that you're joyful, that you're loving and compassionate. I know it's not easy to get to that point, but that's why I suggest a QHHT session or suggest a Reiki session. Like I was going to say earlier, is we have 7 chakras in our body. Those are energy sources. We really have to balance those. They're everything. They're everything as we go into the future because we're already in the future. 2022, this is no longer 2001, 1997. It's no longer those days. It is so the future. This is so the future. We really need to start caring and loving ourselves. When we're whole, when we're solid, guess what? Everything else around us is good and it's easy and it's gentle and it's loving and it's caring and it's compassionate. Isn't that easier? Isn't that better? Doesn't it feel better? And then when you really get in tune with nature and take a hike and, put your hand on a tree and feel the tree. I mean, it's silly, I know. And maybe people don't think it's silly. Maybe they're like, yep, this is great. This is good. And that's what I'm hoping for you. I'm hoping that when you do experience that and you are by the water and you do put your feet in the water, you can really appreciate being human. You can really appreciate who you are and really be kind to yourself. I think we're just not kind to ourselves. So then we're rotten to other people. I've seen it. I've seen those people and they're just rotten. They're rotten to other people because there's such a sadness and so much baggage of emotions attached to them because they've held on to everything since the day they were born. And that's too much for you. You don't deserve that baggage. You don't deserve it. You came into this life knowing that you're beautiful, you're compassionate, you're loving, you're caring. That's your true nature. Your true nature is that. You take all the other stuff away, your true nature is all these beautiful positive things. You would rather be happy than sad. You would rather be compassionate than not. You would rather be loving than not. You just would. I know it. I know it in my heart. I know it because if you were the other way around, you would be miserable, depressed, ready to take your life, ready to just take everyone's life. Get me out of here, right? That's the old energy. And that's Dolores's work. She taught us that the new earth was going to be here, and this is the new earth. So if you focus on the news, you focus on the social media, the negativity, They just want to manipulate you. They want to get you so confused that you don't even know good from bad anymore. You're all of a sudden, you're like, well, no, that's good. Oh, God, that happened. That's bad, you know? And you get sucked in this little roller coaster ride. So you're up, down, as far as the emotions go, versus taking a step back, detaching yourself from the news, detaching yourself from that negativity and saying, that's enough. I don't deserve it. I know in my heart, I'm a good person. I'm loving. I love myself. And then in return, I can love my family members, my friends, my Samaritans, people around me. Like I said before, even when we go out to a restaurant and everything, sometimes I can walk into a restaurant and realize how much, even though we're all strangers to each other, how much we love being in a restaurant full of people, or going somewhere like a baseball game and there's full of people, right? And we love it. Generally, we do. Yeah, you'll see some negativity. It's because those people are carrying baggage and emotions with them. And so it just takes one little tiny thing to just set them off. There hasn't been any rescue for them because in the universe, they've been putting out to the universal law of attraction. They've been putting negative out, putting negative out. Guess what's coming back to them? Negativity. So they're not seeing that true nature self. They're like, nope, see? Nope, it's negative. See that? That just happened. That's because that's how powerful we are. We are master manipulators. We can manipulate anything. And we are just masters at creation. We're masters at everything. And once you realize that you've created that, you manifested it, and you realize it, and you become aware of it, then you can switch it around and say, nope, I'm not going for that. I'm going for the positivity. I know the universe works for me. I work for the universe. We love each other. We're one, right? You are from God. God loves you. The source, it's the source. I know we say God, and God can be tainted as far as how we label him and how we want to say him, her, whatever we want to say. But God is the source. It's the all knowing part. It's this beautiful energy that we love, that we have to leave to come here and be here in the physical. And that's why you'll see people who need church. They need church because they feel so detached. They're like, oh, I miss it. I miss it. It's so perfect. Because when I take people under, guess what the first thing they go to? The source. They want to go right back to God. They missed it so much. They start crying. They weep, 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 weep. Take me home, right? It's okay. The best part here is learning that, is experiencing it and getting through it and knowing that you're amazing. That you're amazing. You are amazing. Period. All of you. You're amazing. We just put on a little character. We just put on this body, We got to love our body because we've chose this body, because that goes along with the life, the people around us. And so we've chose the body. When we chose the relationships and the characters, that's the relationships and the people. And of course you come across people that you'll see them when you become more aware and more in tune with yourself, and more whole with yourself, and more rooted, grounded. We really need to ground ourselves. And that's the feet in the dirt, feet in the water, any kind of element. Um, and when we come across people that are just that way, I've seen them, and oh boy, are they heavy. Oh boy, they're hunched over, that they're holding on to some heavy stuff. And it could have been when they were 5, it could have been when they were 6. It happens. It happens. And we come in and we're like, oh my gosh, you hurt us. How dare you hurt us? The body of this kid or whatever is the situation. And you grow up with that pain. And sometimes we get moms or dads or someone who's just not so great. They let it out. They lash out on you. You have to stand up for yourself for some of that. Sometimes we need that experience. And sometimes we say, nope, enough is enough. That is enough. Right? Because you don't deserve it. You don't. You deserve the best. You deserve good. You deserve just everything good. You need that. And we all need it. And I think that it starts with us. It starts with us, our own individual self. And when we do that, then we can go out into the world and Like I've said before in my other podcast, you're driving along and someone cuts you off, or you see someone. It's like when you're balanced and you start to see someone outrageous weaving through traffic, you just let them go. You just, okay, you do you got that one, buddy, you know, and not getting mad and not being like, oh, you jerk, you know. I mean, it happens. We get in our car and we just all of a sudden all sorts of weird stuff happens, but it's the way that we perceive it. That's the way our energy is. And it's like going to the store, you open the door for the person behind you or whatever the case is, or in front of you, whatever. It's just taking that extra initiative to, I guess, spread that love too and be kind and please and thank you. I don't think we do that enough either. I mean, because when I was a little kid, it was like, you have to say please and thank you. And then all of a sudden that just went to hell. Like, we don't say that anymore. I really rarely ever get anyone who ever says please and thank you. And I'm like, and I say it. And so it throws them off and they're like, oh, you're welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. You know, there's this kindness that we need to come back with. But how can we even be kind if our own self isn't balanced? We're not grounded. We're not connected to the stars. We're not realizing we're on um, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. You know, Earth is alive. You know, we are one with Earth as well as we are with the stars. And so it's this beautiful harmony balance that we need to bring back. And yes, you can have the material things and enjoy all the material stuff because honestly, that's why it's here for us. It is here for us to enjoy. We just have to have a nice balance with it and not get so like, oh, I have to have that. Oh, I need this. I need this. I need this. I need that. Right? Versus a beautiful harmony of like, perfect. I got my car I needed. I have my house I needed. But it's being happy and joyful before all those things come. How could you ever get anything so beautiful if you're not balanced and centered and you know, and really loving on yourself? And it's not a way of being conceited or selfish. None of that. It's got to come from a beautiful place in your heart that is where you feel full of love and you know that you're solid. You know that you are love, and there's no other truth. The truth is love. That's it. The key to life is happiness, is joy. The key to life is joy. It is. If you're joyful, boy, you are on top. You are just good to go. And that's a challenge for us. You know, we can wake up to a brand new day and we can be, I have to do this. This is yuck. Or, wow, I'm in this body. I'm so blessed. Here I am in this body. I can do my hair. I can do my makeup. I mean, me. I'm talking about me as a girl. My hair, my makeup, get dressed all nice, be presentable to the world because I care about how I look. And not in an obsession way. It's more of like, you know, brush your hair, brush your teeth, be clean. I think that that's just a normal way. I know some of us, we like go through it and we don't want to be like fresh, but it's like when you're fresh, like shower, you're clean, you feel good, and you can look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, yeah, this is good. I am thankful I'm even in a body. I'm thankful I even have a roof over my head, that I'm not in line in heaven waiting to come down, right? I mean, it's just little things like that. And I can go to the bakery and I can get a yummy donut. Or if I want, I can go out to the best restaurant I want to go and have the best salad or burger I ever wanted. So it's as simple as that. It's really enjoying these little things. I think we take food for granted. I think we take nature for granted. Our clothing, everything. I feel like there's just so much taken for granted versus really appreciating the little things and really realizing those things are such a treat for us to bring happiness, to bring joy. It's like having lunch with a friend, having lunch with a family member that maybe we're just so busy that it's time now to enjoy it. Maybe going out to a movie and really enjoying just the whole experience of getting popcorn and candy and drinks and watching a movie with a whole bunch of people. Like I said, we love to be around each other. We do. And it's public and I know a lot of us go, ugh, but that's not true. No, it's not. We all harmonize very well together. We're like a little bumblebee pack, you know? It's just like, yep, we all got to go get our little nectar, and but we're all going to bring it back to the hive, and that's the same thing. It's like life, you know? We go out and we go to work and we live life. We go to the grocery store, we go out to the restaurants, out to the, take a walk down the street, all these beautiful things. And I know there's a lot of us that can do that and they are doing that. And there's a handful of people that are very low vibration. They got stuck in the dense, heavy darkness. And so that's all that it is. The sad, the people who are on the street, what I'm saying is like, um, and I always go back to what happened to them as a baby. Of course, I look back, I'm like, no, you are a godly, you came from God, you came from heaven, you came from the other side into a baby's body, right? And sometimes we have a little bit of karma that we go, oh, I didn't want to do it like that. So we're in heaven and we have to say, okay, well, this is why I love Dolores, because she's taught me that we change characters, that we leave a life and then we go up there and we review that life. And then we go, oh, I'm so loving. I didn't want to do that to that person, whatever it is, maybe a hurtful thing. And I don't want to say that because I don't like any of those kind of things on my podcast. And I'm talking about a really hurtful thing. And it creates a part of your soul that goes, ooh, oh, I want to fix that because that's not what I want to do. So you come back and you change the character. You go, okay, well, now I want to be the husband and you be the wife. I'm going to be the aunt and uncle, or the aunt and you be the uncle. So things like that. And in doing so, you learn it a different way and you might be able to get through that actual lesson. Because we get lessons because we're being tested while we're here, because we're masters, we're brilliant. They've only dumbed us down. I've realized that. My mentors have told me that we are brilliant and we're only just dumbed down by society, by social media, by the government. Like, we're not that smart and we are brilliant. We're brilliant. Each and every one of us are so smart. We have our one gift that we came. Hi, thank you. Um, and what's beautiful about the universe and about all of it is that when you do come back, you can be this a whole new you, basically. And not saying that that's what needs to happen to you, but some of us need it. And you come back and you maybe you who you are now. And maybe you're going through a challenge, and maybe you're going through an obstacle that you just cannot get through. And you're like, why is this happening to me? And maybe you needed to listen to this to let you know that you just need to let go. And letting go is stepping back and realizing you don't need to bring attention to it anymore. And going back to like being a baby, we come in and we choose a life that maybe might be a lot harder for us because maybe in the last life it was something that needed, like, for this life, as far as if you've done something to someone else, now you come back and you're trying to fix it. And it's not going to be like, if you took this person's life, I guess you're coming back to get your life. No, no. The universe doesn't work like that. Listen to Dolores Cannon. She wrote 19 books. She basically says the other side's so precious and just perfect that they go, guess what? We're going to do something where you're really going to fall in love with that person. You're going to fall in love with that person, and not, it could have been the person that took a life or whatever it is, because if you go to our past history, it was like, just a whole nother time, kings and queens and medieval and all of that. And so we just were very barbaric, very barbaric. Anyway, going back to this is really waking up, really appreciating yourself, letting go of anything heavy. And honestly, I'm practicing what I preach. I am a caregiver as well, senior caregiver. So of course, we can't physically live forever in the body. We're going to leave it. So it's a good challenge for me, as well as I care for people and have to let them ascend and let them go into a new body, and really love on them until they get there, and really like make the last few days of their life just so gentle and so perfect and so precious and so loving and compassionate, and just know that they are um, going to a wonderful place on the other side. I know a lot of us have seen a lot of our family members or friends and they've departed, and that's really hard on us. And that's, as we're attached to the life, we're attached to the body, we're attached to the people around us. But, when you look at it in a different way, it's like, no, it's good, because the real side's the other side. And this side's we're trying to help humanity. We're trying to help Mother Nature, Mother Earth evolve. Um, we're we're these beautiful soul beings on the other side, and we just choose to come here in the body to help evolve Earth and help evolve humanity. I mean, we are created by this higher entity that have brought us together, that made the human, that made us who we are. And the least we could do is become aware and really love on ourselves and love that we're here and love the experience. Because we can choose whatever we want. We can choose good things. We can choose going to beautiful, because Earth is gorgeous. There's so many beautiful places on Earth. I mean, and you can really connect with yourself. I live in Yellowstone, so Yellowstone National Park. And to me, I couldn't live anywhere else, because for me, this is my home, no matter what. And I was not born here. I moved here. My angels moved me here 20 years ago. And it was, at first, I didn't understand it. I was like, why would you move me here? I was very stuck in the material world. I needed restaurants and stores, and I needed to do all of that, right? I needed all of it. At least I thought I did. Now in my life, it's funny because I hardly go shopping. I hardly do the things I used to do, clothes shopping and browsing. And I just, it's not my thing anymore. It used to be. Um, and it's interesting. So I'm really connected with nature. I'm pretty much feel very elemental. So like I feel like I can see the fairies. I feel like I can really connect with the trees and feel them and know that they're so happy, and I love my flowers. So it's just things, it's just, that's the shift that you'll eventually feel, and it's so perfect. And when you're in that harmony, you're in that frequency, it's breathtaking. It's amazing. It's a beautiful way to live. And I feel as I'm more absorbed into that, sometimes the old energy is like, oh, wait a minute. She's detaching from the old energy, the negativity. I have to present her with more challenges. I've actually realized that's the, law of vibration, law of attraction, is that we are still human. So we still do, we're going through this transition right now. So we're not completely, um, to where we're like, if someone passes away or leaves or whatever, it still gets us. It still gets us. And that's the human part of us. That's the attachment part of ourselves. And I feel like that's okay to be a little bit like that, and that's however you like can be through that little moment right there. But it's like, I don't know, it's just really, when you look at it, you can really love on it, and know that they're free of the body and they're not trapped in there. Because sometimes, as the seniors get older, they'll have lots of things wrong with them and they'll just feel so trapped. And that's why I couldn't even preach more to say, listen to Dolores Cannon's books, because she's 19, and it helps understand us. It understands the human, it understands the soul that bounces around and goes to different bodies. And it's really, 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 really cool. Like, so cool. So if you can read any of her books, you'll be you'll be blown away. Of course, it's definitely if you're not used to it, it's definitely out of the box. It's not going to be in a box. It's not that style. It's going to be something different that you're not, I mean, the journey of the soul. And I know some of you guys have, you understand that part, and I would hope so, because that's the whole part of being here and being in a body. We've all done this several times. Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, thank you. So, um, really, I just wanted to come on here today and just see how you guys were feeling, how your life, how your journey is. Can you wake up every morning really loving on yourself and feeling whole, and maybe putting a little bit of practice in there and using some tools for the breath? I think that's the biggest, is breathing. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for being so far away and how and being connected. I'm on the other side of the world and you are too, and that's very, very cool. Um, I love that. To me, it's like it's just really, really cool. To know that you could be over there and I can be over here, and we still can communicate and talk, and I just think it's amazing. And so yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, you guys are amazing. So appreciate you guys being on here listening to me live, and it's interesting. Life is interesting. It just really is what we get dealt in our lives, what we have for experiences. But I always say, if you can use any of the tools, but like said with the breath, that is your main tool. You always have that on hand. So like, you don't have to, you get in a situation that is just not easy. They're in the foyer. The puppies. We got puppies. We're watching our friends' puppies. And what's that? What to pick you have? I don't understand. I don't know what you mean. I am actually, if you mean, so my business name is Open to the Universe, QHHT. I'm a practitioner for quantum healing hypnosis technique. And that technique was developed by Dolores Cannon. And it took her about 50 years to just master it. And she's done over 10,000 people. And she had a 10-year waiting list when she passed away. So she was brilliant. Let me tell you, brilliant. Yeah. And so I'm a level 2. There's 3 levels, and I was just explaining them earlier. You have to work your way up with this technique because each of us are very different. So when you take a person under and release all the baggage, and release and let you know why you're here, your true purpose, so that essentially you can live a better life. That's all that this technique helps you with, is that you can release that baggage, and let you know why you're in that body and why you're experiencing that life. And yeah. Wait. Oh, okay, I'm just doing my podcast right now. It's all right. And then there's my buddy, my Skeeter. Out of nowhere. Yep, and then there's my family. I'm sure you guys can all hear them. My podcast is live, so it's like everyone can hear. Anyway, and I have my dog, and he's a good dog. He's so sweet, Skeeter, but oh, he's a good boy. Okay, see ya. Yep. And so I just do my podcast in my kitchen. So usually, I'm usually by myself. My kids are grown. So, but anyway, everyone's at work except for my daughter. She just came in. We're watching our friend's dog. We have a dog, but we're watching their puppies. Anyway, going back to it. So if you really can find a practitioner in your area, you will not regret it, I'm telling you. Or if you could get a Reiki session, I think those are beautiful gifts too. My friend does astrology, so also you can check out happylioncenter.com. And I partnered up with them. And there's other practitioners as well. But, we're all in Montana. I know that there's a lot of light workers out there. I know there's a lot of light workers out there. And that just means like they offer anything self healing. So, Reiki, meditation, they could help with foot zoning. I mean, there's so many. QHHT, there's just tons of self healing practices. There's just lots of it out there. But we don't look for it because we're so programmed to go to the doctor and go to, let's see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm interested. I have a friend who's in South Africa, in Johannesburg, and she wants me to give her my number too. So I just don't understand WhatsApp app. I don't understand that because in America we don't do that too much. I don't think, not that I know of. I mean, we just have our we have other ways to connect, but I understand what you're saying a little bit. You've got a number, so I need to figure that out. Um, so I'll write your number down and we'll try it. But because I always like to reach out to whoever wants, because I also, so you can go through Happy Lion Center and I offer Zoom calls to do Soul Speak. And Soul Speak is partnered up with QHHT. So Soul Speak was developed by Dolores's daughter, Julia Cannon. She's amazing. She's very psychic. So she wrote a book that came through her from the higher self, and it's called Soul Speak. And basically, it's messages because we're very much asleep. Like, we're not aware that we have angels, right? Most of us aren't aware of that. But we do. We all have angels because it's not easy to be here on earth at all. And the angels know that. But the only other thing is this: you have free will. So they can't just come in and just take over your life. You have to live the life. But if you need them, you have to ask for it. Um, and that's what I love about Soul Speak. So once you start becoming aware that you have angels and you ask them for help and you ask them to open a door, and I'm not talking a physical door, I'm talking about like if you want your life to change and you want to go down a different path. So, we talk about accidents, we talk about things that happen to us, elements. So sometimes we'll have shoulder pain or hip pain or we'll get in an accident. Those are angels trying to talk to us to tell us something. Maybe we're not going in the right direction. Maybe you're not listening. Maybe you're not paying attention. And they're saying, hey, wait a minute. You said to interrupt you by causing an accident or causing something. If you're not enlightened by the age of 35, we talked about this before you went into the body. And so that's the other thing too, is you make a plan before you come here because you have to have all your little ducks in a row. It's like, okay, I have to have a couple challenges. I have to have a couple struggles, and then and then I'll have my angels. You want life to change? Then you are the creator of your life. You are in control of your life. So if you want it to change, don't lead with your ego. And the ego is just like I was saying earlier, it's always going to put you in a negative situation so just become aware of positive things in your life and negative things. So if you want your life to change, you want it to change for the greater good. Always. We never want to change for the greater bad. We want to change for the greater good, for good things, right? So start leaning towards the good things that make you happy. We're all different, so we like different things, right? and we're all in different environments. So you might have to indulge in the environment you're in. I'm not sure. I've never been to Africa. It sounds amazing and it sounds intimidating because, I've never left the country. I've always been in the United States. So anyway, my point is, the one thing you can do is just start waking up every morning and appreciating yourself and doing things for you. So that's yoga, that's good self-talk. Wow, you are amazing. You've got this. What do you want to do today? What do you want to create today? Oh, you want to be a business owner and own your own corporation? You can do it. I mean, it's whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be that. I'm just totally just using that as an example. But it's whatever. What if you're an artist? What if you're a dancer? What if you indulge in those things? Those are your gifts, It's like those are the things you're supposed to lean towards. What if it's a guide to a nature walk? I mean, it can be really simple things. It doesn't have to be extremely hard things like owning a business and doing that whole scene. That's intimidating. But I'm just saying, like, you can pick things that make you happy. And that's all I'm saying. That changes your life. Picking things that make you happy and loving on yourself. We don't love on ourselves enough. We yearn for other people's loves, and that's not good enough. We have enough love in our own self to satisfy our own love, to satisfy that feeling, that gap, that feeling of like, well, I just wanted them to love me, right? We all do that. And it's because we're detached from the godly source, from where we came from. And that's why we feel that way. And sometimes we're around people who are super negative, and boy, that comes right off into you because their vibration, we're all vibrational. That goes into you. You feel kind of like, ugh, gosh, why is that person like that? I feel crappy around that person. Then don't be around people like that. You tell the universe, that's it. Enough is enough. I want good people around me. I want positive people around me. You start choosing that. You make choices like that, your life will change for the better and you'll feel better. You won't yearn for other people's love. You won't yearn for you'll be okay if you're by yourself because you're not by yourself. That's the other thing I meant to say earlier is like, you're not by yourself. You have angels, you have the galactical federation on the other side. I know that seems silly, but once you start to resonate with that and really realize that your sorry, I was writing that down for you. Cool. I'll send you some information and just go from there, and hopefully that is helps you and hooks you up, because that's all that matters. If we can help each other out like that, once you've helped yourself, I feel like you can't really help others when you're not whole yourself, because then you're just stretched thin, right? You're just like, so it's balancing yourself, it's caring about yourself, and then you can suggest and really you don't tell people what to do. Of course not. I would never want to tell you guys what to do. It's all suggestions. It's all to say, hey, these are some really cool tools you have. Like I said, the simplest is breathing. So in 4, on the count of 4 through the nose, hold it for 2 seconds, out, count of 4 through the mouth in a gentle way. You want to do it just so gentle, breathing in and out, so gentle but deep to fill the lungs up, because that really grounds you. And then really get yourself in tune with nature. Get your feet in the dirt. Be outside. I mean, you might have to sit on the grass, whatever it is, but really loving on yourself. I can't even stress that more, because I think that's the main thing we need right now is the love on ourselves. And it's not a selfish thing. It's not it's not any of that. It's not anything negative. It's always positive. Um, and that's not easy for some people. And that's why I suggest a session, QHHT session. If you can get that, I mean, you won't regret it. You will not regret it. It'll change your life for the better. for the greater good. You'll understand so much. You'll understand it. You'll know who you really, 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 really are. That's the beauty of it. You know who you really are. And you realize you're much more than just these little things that we get so hung up on. And I know I practice what I preach. It's like I say it and I'm like, oh, Jen, practice what you preach. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And you know, I'm growing too, and I'm trying to get myself. It's like this. It's funny because the universe is like, oh, you think you're centered? You think, okay, well, let's throw one more thing at you to see if you're really centered, see if you can really handle it, right? And so that happened to me just recently. So I felt so compelled. Um, I actually did a meditation with my friends yesterday, and it cleared me. And that's why I love meditation, because sometimes, as we are human, as we are going through our daily lives, it does happen where we get kind of hung up on something that could be negative, but we got to turn it into a positive. So I'm, of course, a senior caregiver, and I told you that. And, you know, obviously they can't live in their body forever, so they're going to leave that body and go on. Instead of being so sad and oh, woe is me, right? No, no, I got to think about that person and that being and what the bigger plan is, what the bigger picture is, and to know and to trust the higher self that they have a plan too, that they have to just exit the body and that's the way they're going to do it. And they're in their 80s or 90s. That's okay. You've lived a beautiful, long life. That's wonderful. And I don't need to be sad about it. I don't need to be carrying that emotion around. Um, and that's a really good message, you know, and for anyone who's going through it. And I know I get caught up, but the best part about it is I'm aware of it. So as soon as I feel that way, I can go, oh, thank you. Okay, I noticed that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and meditate and center myself and ground myself and know that it's okay. And I trust the higher self. I know that there's this beautiful divine plan, bigger picture than I could ever imagine, right? And that's the beauty of it. And when you release that baggage, you feel better. You just do. You know that it's all right. You know it's okay. And so, anyway, um, I just wanted to put that out there to you guys. I just wanted to send you guys lots of love and light, and just be easy on yourselves, be kind to yourselves. And in doing so, also your food intake. Pay attention to what you're eating. Pay attention to what you're drinking. Um, those are important to uh, just make sure that your body is well nourished. You know, because we go all the time, and and we need our bodies to do all that. Otherwise, it just deteriorates because the body isn't really real, so it deteriorates. The soul's real. It never deteriorates, ever. It stays solid. It stays perfect. It stays um, divine, always. Yeah, my mentors taught me that, and I didn't really realize that. I was like, whoa, wow, it's incredible. Um, yeah, because the soul's like so old, you know, like it's been around. So anyway, if you can have a session ever, get one. You'll love it. Just find a practitioner in your area. Go to dolorescannon.com. Just even if you read her books, breathtaking. I always like to start out, like, if you know nothing about Dolores Cannon, read her very first book. It's Five Lives Remembered. I love that book. It's I have all of her books. I've read them all. Um, I've been doing this for a while, but the first Five Lives Remembered. Um, but that's Dolores's first book. It's amazing. She's truly a lovely lady. I wish she was alive, of course. I mean, she is on the other side. And if you ever wanted to talk to her, I'm sure you could, because that's the power we hold. We can talk to anyone on the other side. We just don't believe we can. And we really can. They're in our hearts. So it's like, if you're really open and you're really connected, you can talk to anyone on the other side. I love that. So if you're ever in need of anything in that moment, ask for your angels. They're right there to assist you. Tell them that you can hear them. Tell them that you're listening. Tell them that you love them, and that you're so thankful that you are attached to them. And really, when you put out the good signals to the universe, you will truly receive good back to you. And that's the truth. And the truth is love. And the life and the key to life is joy. And so that's just always being positive, always being happy, choosing good things for you, because we're all different. So we all like different things. Thank the universe for that, because free will, it's such a blessing. I mean, if we came in here all liking the color yellow and all liking pizza, I mean, really. My mentor says that. She's like, you wouldn't like it. You would feel so like it just wouldn't be good. We would never evolve the way we are now. We got our own free will to choose what we like and to go where we like. And my goal eventually would be to travel the world and to just see it, as that's something that would be really cool to experience. But right now, I know in my heart that I just want to put information out there for anyone to hear, that resonates with it, that maybe you'll have a better, way to manage your emotions, and maybe you'll have a better life. I mean, that's all I could ever hope. So I have hope for you guys. I have faith for you, that no matter what, there's this beautiful divine plan, and it's beautiful and it's perfect and it's gentle and it's simple and it's easy. And if you ever try to complicate it, it's because it's your ego side trying to break it down, and you don't need to. It's very simple. It's very gentle. And it's really just choosing good. It's really amazing. I know that seems too simple, but when you let the ego in, boy, it'll make it seem like it needs to be more complicated than that, right? No, it does not. um, anyway, so thank you guys for listening today. I'm going to wrap it up and start my day. So lots of love to you guys, and be kind to yourself. You don't deserve anything else. You deserve the best. You deserve love. You deserve loving yourself, period, and putting good things in your body, and just try little things. Like I said, practice a little bit of meditation, practice a little bit of yoga, whatever you resonate with, and just start your journey of this beautiful, loving you. And you're going to love it. You're going to love who you become. If you're not already there, you're going to love who you become. Yep. And get a session if you feel like it. If you feel like you couldn't get to that point and you really want your life to change and you really want all these great things you hear about, get a session if you have too much emotional baggage. Yep. And even a Reiki session. So if you find anyone who does Reiki, do it. They'll align your chakras, and you'll really feel it. You'll really see the difference. And when you talk to yourself, only say good things, right? You're amazing. You're beautiful. You're perfect. You're perfect the way you are, no matter what. Literally perfect the way you are. And don't change it for anyone. Change it for you. If you want to change, it's for you, not for anyone else, because they don't change who they are for you. And so you need to know that. And yeah, and just have good things in your, and limit your social media. I always like to say that, limit it, because I feel like social media just gets us so sucked into the depression stuff, and everyone's sad, and unless you're choosing really good upbeat people, then that's wonderful. But limit yourself on the news as well, because a lot of it is like a roller coaster, up, down, and you don't need that either. So, okay, I'm wrapping it up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to me, downloading all my material. I love you guys. I really do. Um, when I do my meditation, it is out to the world. It's out to every single one of you guys. I am a light worker. It is what I'm here for. It is my purpose. I have so much love for humanity that it's just like I feel like a little star just like bursting at the seams. So anyway, um, you guys can check out my other stuff. I have stuff on YouTube and all that, but it's all set up with Open to the Universe QHHT because that is my thing. I love Dolores. I'm obsessed with her. So anyway, I hope you guys have a really, really great day and great weekend. And if you hear this later and you're struggling, you can always email me. I would love to. Like I said earlier, you can go to happylioncenter.com and I do soul speak through Zoom, and it's like $40 and you can hang out with me for an hour and you can tell me about your life and I can give you some suggestions of kind of what you can work on and do and really help you kind of weave through that of what the angels are really trying to tell you. Um, yeah. So if you get a chance to do that, book me. I would love it. It doesn't matter where you live. happylioncenter.com. My name is Jen Martinez. And I would love to see you guys. I would love to do a session, quantum healing session or a soul speak session. So check me out. Even can go to my website, jennifermartinez.com. And go from there. So if you want to book with me or whatever, I would love it. I really would. So lots of love. Take care and be kind to yourself.